I have not played Diablo 2 in 25 years. Decided to pick it up after YouTube suggested a bunch of Zarvan the Loot Goblin videos, which I very much enjoyed. I've been playing since early January, was surprised by the new class that came out of nowhere, and this 2-month journey has simply been incredible. This run is pretty much blind. I barely remember what I did last week, let alone how a game played 25 years ago. But I was excited nonetheless to see if the memories perhaps came back. Please subscribe and like if you enjoy the content, it really helps, and let's dive in. I create a summoner, walk around town a bit, get to know the controls, and I'm off to the den of evil. It is humble beginnings with a single skeleton. I level up, look at the tree, I am not following a build which will become very apparent, and I decide to get more skellies. I got 2 of them, get told I am too weak, find my first shrine, it is already dark, and find my first charm. A little later I have 3 skeletons, I drop a rare sash, single-handedly take out the shamans because my skeletons are too dumb to do it. My helm is already broken. I level up and take a bit of skeleton mastery, kill the rare, drop a dagger, realize there is 1 monster left, because of course there is, and there he is. I get a skill point as a reward, get more mastery. I am unsure what to put attributes into. Here is that dagger, not that great. I fill my belt with potions, repair my broken equipment, sell stuff and head out, not realizing they sell scrolls of identification as well in town. In the graveyard, this demon drops a buckler and an amulet. I find my first socketed cap, take more mastery, identify my charm with a scroll from the ground plus the buckler, which seems decent, and then it is time to take down Bloodraven. The army isn't doing a lot of damage yet, but okay, I have high hopes. As a reward, I get a homie. I notice the tomes, I want those, plus I notice all these wands with skills on them. I identify a ring and the amulet and equip them both, replace the buckler, some new shoes, and that bow goes to the homie. The 2 gems I find, I just socket straight into the helm, because why not? I will learn much later, why not? My homie can't use arrows, it seems. I give her some low-level armor, level up in one of the mausoleums in the graveyard, get the golem out, more minions means better, I think. And what do you know, my first unique, the Hand of Brock. I don't know who Brock is, and I don't remember uniques very well, but this doesn't seem great. Still, it is definitely an upgrade. I take amplified damage, so I can also do something while my army hopefully kills monsters. I find the Countess quest, I find my first ethereal armor and I toss it, thinking it is unusable because it cannot be repaired. I touch the Cairnstone's 3-deckard cane, while my army takes on another army. He will identify items for me, which is good. A preserved head drops in the tower. This seems pretty good for just a white item. I level up Ray's skeleton further, get another head, this time rare, but it doesn't have any skills on it, and there is the Countess. I curse the whole room and she dies, dropping my first rune. I get another cap with sockets and decide to put in Magic Find because Zarvan also did that all the time in his videos, so I was convinced this was a good strategy. A skeletal mage joins the party at level 12, I get a new wand for 12,000 gold for +2 raised skeleton. I kill the smith, get the malice, get an even better wand for 19k gold, have that wand imbued but didn't get much out of that. I gambled belts for no apparent reason and I don't get anything. I slot another topaz in the helmet for more Magic Find. I find the last waypoint of Act 1 and it is time for Andariel, and I'm having huge issues here. My army keeps dying, my homie is dead because of the poison, I run out of potions, but fortunately I have a bunch lying around in another room where I killed a bunch of monsters before. I regroup and re-raise my whole army again, and on the second full assault with all the skeletons they manage to kill Andariel, which completes Act 1. It is pretty good, but I'm already a little concerned about my build. Without corpses, this is completely useless. Arriving in Act 2, I buy a 3-socket chest, which I don't have the strength for, so time to fix that. And again, random gems go in. Magic Find, Regen, this to me seems like an optimal usage of resources. Here is another issue with minions, they get stuck in small spaces. I encounter Radamant, my minions can deal with him. I get a book of skill and in the rocky waste I die for the first time to lightning bugs. I lose all my gear, wasn't expecting that to be honest. This is more hardcore than I remember. So I corpse run, find the Horadric cube, extra stash space, which is great. What's not so great though is a big minion army in a very small maggot lair. I'm losing my mind here from the 18th century pathfinding AI. This is pretty excruciating gameplay, I'm not gonna lie. I get surrounded by lightning beetles, die again, get my corpse back, find the first set item, Cathan's Mesh, keep having serious issues with this area. I make it to the final room however, kill the worm, get the staff and equip a magic find amulet of course. A little later I get this amulet, get a magic find ring, buy another 3-socket chest to slot in 3 more topazes for 35% magic find. I do love the dedication looking back at this footage. I spent 2 random points in golem skills, likely making the mistake of not maxing one skill first, and talking about annoying zones, this is a decent candidate. I get surrounded again, die again, do manage to kill the summoner after losing my entire army, decides to hire another homie, give her some gear, decide I'm done with the summoner playstyle, I think it is too annoying with the 0 IQ skeletons, use the respec and go full bone spear. The way I distribute these attributes is probably an issue. I get into Tal Rasha's tomb, use the staff, and then Duriel absolutely destroys me. In the attempts that follow, I just don't see how I can ever win this fight, and I decide to just call it a day when I can't even retrieve my own corpse without dying. It's time to reroll. No more magic, no more minions, just raw power in the form of a barbarian. What could go wrong? I buy an axe, equip those unique gloves I found on the necro, equip this scepter, give some potions to the homie hoping she survives, enter Tristram and find a unique short sword, Rixet's Keen. Not too bad, I just start using this. I equip the Cathan set piece and here you see a bit of gameplay in the catacombs. It is quite different, much more active. I steal mana, do decent damage, I am much more reliant on potions of course, but it seems to work for the most part. Andariel goes down without many issues at all, and afterwards my homie succumbs too to the poison. I feel fairly confident however, so far. In fact, I decided to keep farming Andariel a little bit and drop a set belt, Arctic Binding. And here is the 3rd attempt with more rare loot. This is my gear and my charms at the end of Act 1, and I think this is at least decent, you know, I think it's actually pretty good. In Act 2, however, I am starting to take more damage. Time to stock potions. Imbue a socketed flail, but to no avail. This is another fail. So I just jam more gems and jewels in that thing. I'm going maces because I have the mace mastery. In fact, let's get another 3-socket flail and socket more gems in. I have these things anyway, and I'm hoping to do a bit more damage this way. I know very little about damage scaling or any scaling, so I just do stuff. It looks pretty cool, 2 flails, but not as cool as this damage does on me, and I die again. I decide to hire another merc with an aura. I get battle cry, I am back at the maggot lair, almost get killed again by lightning beetles, imbue a normal flail, but I doubt it's an upgrade, and I decide to check what is going on with rune words. Gen AI gives me a few pointers, but Diablo 2 Rune Wizard really helps. I can enter on the website which runes I have, and then whatever I can make shows up. It's very handy. I get another flail with 2 sockets, put in Tyr and L, thus creating steel. I'm just happy this works first of all, and this seems like an okay weapon. Nef and Tyr in a helm creates Nadir, this is also an upgrade. And finally, Tel and Ath creates Stealth, making me super zoomy, plus it has an okay defense roll I think, and a bit of resistance. This should keep me going for a bit. When getting the amulet, I'm almost dying again. I probably just haven't spent enough points in vitality, but I feel I also need strength to wear gear and dexterity so my attacks actually hit. I decided to buy the homie some gear with life leech. I one-shot the summoner, get a set ring, another piece of the Catan set, very exciting, so I just try it out. And it adds all sorts of things, very cool. An overall set bonus I get by the looks of it, flat fire damage and mana regen, and then individual bonuses per piece. I equip it, why not, and this is a bit of gameplay. I have no reference for any of this, so to me it looks okay. It's basic, I walk up to an enemy and pop it, but hey, it seems to work at least. That's more than I can say about skeletal mages. Lightning beetles drop a unique amulet with a ton of fire resistance and increased max fire resistance, and then it is time to retry Duriel, who kills my merc merc, but then I have enough fuel in the tank left to kill him. I'm feeling pretty good about this. I get Cleglaw's pincers and the axe of Vagmar, not usable but fun nonetheless. And with that done, it is time for the next act. In the jungle, you can see my attribute distribution, probably way too much strength, but we soldier on, the homie and I. This is a decent grand charm, damage and resistance. I have found a Barbarian specific helmet, which I equip. I make it to Frenzy, which will be my main skill from now on. I start using the cube to upgrade items. Frenzy makes me very zoomy again, which comes in useful when I encounter the council and want to run for my life. Holy moly, it went pretty well up to here, but these guys just destroy me. If I lure them out one by one, however, I can make it work. I make Kalim's flail, equip it, smash the orb and gain access to the boss area. I get an upgrade for the homie, I give him the stealth too so he can keep up, and the nadir as well, and then he dies of course before the boss. So it is up to me. Let's see how I fare against Mephisto. I have some lifesteal and I can buff myself with war cries, and then I run out of mana because he steals it or drains it or I just use too much of it. So I run away like a little girl, very fast though thanks to Frenzy. I loot some potions, make my way back, and after a little back and forth I actually kill him. Not bad at all. I decide to run Mephisto a few more times, as I have seen Zarfan do this, and all my Diablo 2 knowledge comes from watching his videos. I seem to have reached the gold cap, that's interesting. Run more Mephistos, get a unique meal, Dark Glow, very defensive stuff, I like it. I will take it over the set item I think. I do another run, die to these little bastards that hurt like hell, yet you can't see them. Make my way back, do Mephisto again. The dedication is real here. I don't even know what I'm farming for, but this is somehow enjoyable. And I loot a set shield. Malibraga's orb. Doesn't look like an orb to me, but okay. I decide I like the set item better after all, because it's green. It's time for more Mephisto, 2 set items even, amazing. Irathas and Angelic. I have no real opinion on these pieces however. It's another Mephisto, another ring meal and 2 rare pole arms. This turns out to be an ethereal dark glow, which makes me realize that ethereal has way more armor than regular uniques, and now I swap back to the regular version. I clearly have no plan for this character, that much is apparent I presume. In fact, having no idea what I'm doing is the only thing about this run that is clear to me. I put charms in the cube thinking they keep working, they don't. And finally, I actually move on to Act 4. The onslaught continues and the loot does too. Here is the second piece of Cleglaw, the shield. I kill Hephaestus, loot the set amulet and his hammer, slam Mephisto's soulstone, receive a bunch of gems, and the amulet turns out to be Cathan's amulet, 3 out of the 5 pieces, which I feel is fantastic. I make my way to the seals of Diablo. My homie can't seem to stay alive. I have no clue how people manage to keep this guy in the party, but either way, time to fight Diablo, which goes about as well as you all probably expected. That lightning hurts a lot in fact. Fortunately, I have learned from all my previous deaths, so I did place a portal and I can easily retrieve my corpse. I brought the homie, who isn't long for this demonic world, and further face tank Diablo, which just seems like a horrible idea. But I don't really see what else I can do here. I portal out, resurrect the homie, buy more flasks and go back in. Fortunately, the boss health doesn't reset and he doesn't regenerate either, I believe. I take another lightning blast to the face, or what's left of it at this point. The homie instantly dies, but finally he does in fact go down, and I feel pretty damn good about myself, I'm not gonna lie. I killed the devil all by myself, my parents would be proud. He also dropped 2 uniques. I bring back the homie, identify the uniques. This mace looks promising, Blood Rise, although I am not a paladin and I do think it's an upgrade. Of course, I try Diablo again, drop this warhammer at the seals, it is very good I think. I do a lot more damage with these new weapons, making the fight significantly easier, plus I know what to expect and what to avoid. He dies once more but drops nothing. I don't dabble here for much longer, time for the final act. In Act 5, I drop this 3-socketed warhammer and create another rune word, Malice. What I don't realize, despite its name, is that it drains my own life. Meanwhile, I drop the 4th piece of Catan, a staff, for some reason. I expected this to be a melee set, guess I was wrong. But either way, thanks to Malice, I am slowly losing health, which isn't great. I equip these new gloves, I fast forward to the Ancients, which I defeat, being rewarded with skill and attribute points, and I get battle command, plus natural resistances, capping most of my resistances. I find another Warhammer, this one is excellent. I decide to just add a socket to it and slot in a shield for attack speed. Makes sense to me, probably makes 0 sense to you. And here's Bale, the final boss, a pretty nasty bugger. He summons waves of enemies, this is a hard fight. Also he does cold damage, like what the fuck is going on here? I can't move or attack. Another issue is my gear gets damaged all the time, my repair costs are spiraling out of control. This fourth wave is not cool, look how fast these guys are. I try to pick them off one by one and it goes kinda well actually. I am somehow permanently poisoned, these mini Diablos are insanely broken dude, what the fuck. I'm retreating through half the zone, pulling half the instance, this reminds me of my main tank World of Warcraft days and this is a dead end. I'm in trouble here. I'm also doing poison damage, so I can hit and run and it kinda works. But the times of hit and run are over, now I just need to run and run. Restock on options, let's fill up that inventory too for good measure and let's get back in. I am almost there, although these are just the minions, and there goes Lister. Bale retreats, I follow. There are tentacles, because of course there are tentacles, but the boss doesn't seem all that bad. That cold attack is not super painful, to me at least, and he's got plenty of health, but the boss is easier than the waves of minions that he just summoned. It takes a while, sure, and somehow my hit chance against him seems super low, and he does more cold damage, which is annoying, but I never feel I am in grave danger. After a few minutes, the final boss perishes, dropping 2 set and 1 unique item. I will now be known as Slayer Gromit. The set items, it is Eisenheart and the Immortal King's Will, and the latter looks amazing on my build. It's time to repeat the campaign, so I venture out looking for more loot, like this set Bone Wand or these gloves with Magic Find. This is nightmare difficulty, meaning more elite enemies, more loot, less resistances, more deaths, that kind of thing. And so I feel I should get a bit tankier, so I take passive resistances. I find a decent damaging charm, get more passive resistances, almost get killed by these monsters while the homie gets entirely killed by these monsters. This shit can be pretty rough and it's just Act 1. I'm running around in my default outfit because I died and I haven't figured out yet that I can save and exit and then my corpse spawns in town. In other words, I am very stressed at the moment, worried I will never get my gear back. I am getting absolutely hammered by these monsters though. Before I can even get to them, I already lose half my health. I make it to the Countess, get a few more runes and then I die again to porcupines. This brings back memories and not from 25 years ago. You see me in my favorite outfit, again the default outfit, trying to retrieve my corpse. This time, however, it is overrun by the Fallen and this exercise is a complete disaster. I can't reach my corpse, I keep trying. The game is lagging out as well on the Barbarian as I play online and at times I rubber band, which is really not helping. It's super bad. I cannot retrieve my corpse and get out of this mess. I just don't see how. But somehow, finally, with 5 life and 2 mana, I escape. It is an omen of what is to come, however. I am broke because of repair costs. I can't sustain the homie. It is a bit of a problem. I find my next set item in Jill. It's another Eisenheart piece, which is cool. I pick up a socketed halberd, check if the homie can wear it. I kill Andariel, get more set items, another Katans. Equipping 2 rings doesn't count though for set bonuses. I equip another barb only helmet. I find a plated belt, a set item, it is Seagon's, and it's just a decent item on its own. I have a much better pole arm for the homie, naturally farm a few more Andes, but she doesn't drop anything. I farm some more random zones in Act 1 as I'm scared to go to the lightning beetles in Act 2 and find this unique. I decide to focus my charms on resistances. Here is another Andy, not bad, not great. I go back to normal, see the corrupted zones which are new to me, and I just wanted to try the secret cow level as that was basically the only thing I did when I was a young kid playing this game 25 years ago. I have warm memories of killing cows all day long and it doesn't disappoint. The cow voice acting still cracks me up. I think putting something silly like this in the game so serious and taking it all the way, that is just a stroke of genius. I get to the Cow King, he even drops a unique, and there is another set Bone Wand, but the fun is over. I get a homie with Blessed Aim to fix my hit chance, which means I am in Act 2. And you can tell, aim is true and blessed. I drop a 4-socket rune sword, the homie died again so I retrieve him, and next zone same thing. This is getting more expensive than my ex-girlfriend. I remember I have that amazing set item so I equip it, socket 2 runes in for resistances, and this thing looks decent after this. I drop an ethereal mage fist, I maxed out frenzy, find an ethereal 2-socket armor with decent defense, and it is time for Duriel, which is a problem. I do very little damage for some reason, the homie does not survive this fight. I have some lifesteal and Duriel himself doesn't hurt all that much either since I'm fairly tanky, but this is taking a while. About 4 minutes later I get a new set shield, get the homie back, it is Mali Braga again. I farm some more zones, get Gorefoot, a barb unique, and rare gauntlets with attack speed, and it's time for Act 3. In Act 3, the suffering of the homie continues. While I admire my new boots, he dies of poison. When I look at my damage, I also die a little inside. I drop a new axe, Spell Steel. Great name, seems like a fun item, plus a new set item, plus this 3-socket armor. I turn the latter into Myth, plus 2 barb skills, some automated casting of shouts and howl. Resistances still look good, this is a nice upgrade. I round out resistances using charms typically. I level up and get a new set item, Tal Rasha. I loot a white battle hammer, a decent base item perhaps. I decide to imbue it and I feel I get really unlucky here. More set item drops, the Tancred's Crowbill. The little bastards get me again, another death. Here's another set shield, the 3rd piece of Eisenheart. More little bastards, more deaths. But it's not just little bastards killing me, it is also huge tree trunks. I'm starting to dread my own existence at this point, and I feel Fazel isn't having an amazing time either. I get an Io rune, here's my attribute distribution for your entertainment. I started organizing and systematically upgrading gems. I equip an all-res ring, drop a unique gothic bow, gold strike arch, check the rune word list which options I currently have with my available runes for this 4-socket build. I first test if the homie can wear it, and I make Insight, Ral, Tyr, Tal and Sol. That's a lot of damage for starters. The meditation aura is like clarity in Path of Exile, it gives mana regen. I don't know if Magic Find does anything for the homie, but this is a huge upgrade. A little later I find a unique rune sword, and after restocking the homie with potions, it is Plague Bearer. Now I am not a poison build, or a druid, or a sword wielder, but I do like this weapon. I learned how to craft rare jewelry like this. It's not an upgrade though. I somehow can't upgrade these 3 runes, which is weird because previously I could do the same thing with other runes. It is time to take on the council, which goes surprisingly well, better than the zone after it where the little bastards get me again. I have finally discovered I can retrieve my corpse by logging out. I want to farm cows in Nightmare, but I'm not allowed, I must first kill Bale. But I don't even feel ready to kill Mephisto. I farm Kurast a bit to prepare and drop a new set piece, Sanders Taboo. I decide to give the homie the Ethereal Dark Glow, hoping the resistances help him survive a bit. I try another rune upgrade in the cube thing, but it doesn't work. Speaking of runes, I still have that 4-socket rune sword, and I decide to make Spirit for +2 to all skills and some flat elemental damage. That means I will respec and I will focus on swords now rather than maces. So I max out Frenzy, I max Blade Mastery, a decent bit of res in there, and then Iron Skin to prevent dying all the time, hopefully. That is at least my line of thinking. For weapons, I take Spirit and Plague Bearer. And as a bit of a showcase, here I am taking on the entire council. The respec has definitely helped. I am res capped, tankier, do more damage. It feels pretty okay, but still not great. I keep farming Kurast, find a new unique shield, kill more councils, and finally make my way to Mephisto, where the poison hurts quite a bit. But me and the homie are stocked up on potions and we are poison res capped. So after face tanking for a few minutes, Mephisto dies. In Act 4, I decide to try out 3 pieces of this set, and it gives on the gloves 30% attack speed, which seems great, to me at least, and lifesteal, definitely noticeable. The downside is my weapons are constantly breaking. I kill the smith, smash the stone, loot the gems. I am at Diablo's seals again. These monsters hurt like hell, but I can't stand my ground against most of this. That is another Catan's ring, by the way, and here is Diablo already. Act 4 is probably the shortest act of all of them. It is more face tanking, except of course when he does the lightning or fire, or well, it turns out I can actually tank the lightning, but not the fire, despite 85% fire res. This fight isn't bad actually, it just takes a while. I lifesteal through most of the damage and get rewarded with a unique belt and an Eisenheart set item. That belt is Night Smoke with some all res. It's not a bad belt. Time for the final act. I dropped new boots, not bad I feel, but what is more important, Rise of the Warlock Shadow dropped in the middle of my playthrough. And I'm like, fuck it, let's buy that thing. $25 is very reasonable. I convert my Barbarian to the new expansion and this is great. A bunch of new tabs, super useful. The only issue is my entire stash tab is gone with shared tabs. They did not migrate. To fix this, I have to get to a legacy character, get all that stuff out, put it in a personal tab, migrate the character and manually deposit it back into the shared stash tab. A bit of a hassle, but fine. This is a one-time thing I have to do and it's not like I got a ton of stuff in the chest anyway. Here is another character for just all the runes. I put them in a personal tab, migrate and then stash them again. I'm back at it, in a frosty cave, and I realize I have a loot filter. I won't bore you with all of that, but it's great and easy to set up and figure out. It's got everything you need as well in there. And then I die, and back in town I stare into the void. I did not drop a portal. A little later I arrive at the Ancients again and I can't do it. I die again. I decided to farm some more other content instead, like Mephisto, who drops nothing of interest. I do another attempt, try to separate them before I take them on. They're very tanky. One of them dies, but Talich, that is a nasty mofo with the whirlwind which hurts like hell. But after my patented poison hit and run strategy while screaming and running like I'm in Karazhan, I'm able to take him down. This took me like 10 minutes and wasn't exactly fun. But hey, time for Bale then. And these waves of monsters again, holy moly, these guys are just not dying. This is pathetic. The council is a little better, although my homie might think otherwise. Then I get the demon lords, they are super fast and surround me, but it is manageable I feel. However, less manageable is the pack of mini Diablos. This is a huge problem. But for me an even bigger problem is the way that I have to take on enemies at this point, the hit and run aspect of this game. This is not why I picked a Barbarian, this is not what I signed up for, and I'm also not sure what I should be doing to make this feel any better. I later learned the importance of Vitality, but I can't just put everything in Vitality. I wouldn't be able to wear armor or land a hit. So I'm a little torn, and after the mini Diablos keep tearing me up and add a few more body cavities in places where I didn't know I needed them, I throw in the towel and give up on Gromit. It was fun, now it was actually pretty bad. I'm not giving up though, because this brings me to the new class in Diablo 2, the Warlock. I love summoners, I started as one, failed at that one, but the Warlock with demons, I mean, why not? I was streaming most of this and jump in terms of footage directly into nightmare difficulty. My army consists of 3 hard-hitting goats plus a bow homie that is a lot safer from a distance. And this combination is very strong. I clear everything up to this point without any issues, without any deaths either. Partly because I can just summon the goats whenever I please, plus I have a spell that teleport them straight onto the enemies, giving you great control over your army. Mephisto dies without a sweat. I get more Seagon pieces. I obviously have access to everything I looted so far on other characters, such as this unique bow from earlier in the run, which goes to the homie. I make myself Authority plus 2 Warlock skills, that is always good for minion builds I think, plus I create Peace plus 2 Amazon skills for the homie. And talking about peace, this game is suddenly a piece of cake. Izuel dies, I can bind demons as well, so instead of a 3rd goat, I take this demon who will now curse enemies, and also he gets a random aura. This binding is a lot of fun. I can even bind the smith, as it turns out. Here is the Diablo nightmare fight with my demonic horde. It is very easy to do. A little later, the Ancients, all 3 at the same time, easy peasy. Just resummon the occasional goat who dies, it's not a problem whatsoever. Then Bale, my nemesis of last time, and sure, the homie gets insta-popped because she just loves to get sandwiched by a bunch of demons. I mean, to each their own, but my goats have the sense to stay away when these waves spawn, and even the mini Diablos are not an issue whatsoever. The bound smith bonks these demons for massive damage. It is quite satisfying. Bale himself is probably the easiest part of this whole fight, and in Nightmare that is no different. I can keep a safe distance, and with that, Nightmare difficulty is done. Time for Hell, where I drop this book plus 2 the demon skills. That's amazing. I farm the Countess for runes, find a new ethereal bill, more runes. Here is my current bound demon. He is a true monster, this guy. Look at those affixes. Or look at Andy's health bar. There are more Andes falling from grace this week, it seems. I get the essence of suffering but never figured out what it does. Duriel dies just as quickly. I drop a 4-socket broadsword, and for good reason, because it is on my filter. And why is it on my filter, you may ask? Well, that's an excellent question. It is on my filter because now I can make another spirit for myself. +2 all skills on a low level sword, so I can actually wield it without too much strength investment. Here you basically see the build, and after the demon part is done in terms of investment, I get Sigil Lethargy. It is a ground curse which slows enemies and makes them take increased damage. I decide to complement my army with more buffs, meaning a polearm homie for the extra aura. Then I die for the first time on this character, and it will be the only time in fact. It does mean I lose my demon, which is a problem. I first bind a council member, which is entertaining but not very good. Still, Mephisto dies, and a little later also Bale bites the dust. Patriarch Demoner, it sounds about right. I start hunting demons though, looking to catch the perfect one, and this version of Lister is pretty much that. Fanaticism aura for increased damage and attack speed, the cursed modifier for increased damage taken by enemies, and he is super fast and hits like a truck. My homie has a might aura increasing physical damage, I think. My demons are fizz hit monsters, so this is all very fun and synergistic. I make more improvements though, despite defeating the game. One of them involves this 5-socket ethereal cryptic axe, because that can be turned into obedience, and I just so happen to have the runes for that. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen, obedience. Insane damage, a chance to cast level 21 enchant, which adds flat fire damage to my entire party. My homie furthermore wears Duriel's cuirass for defense and freeze immunity, and lore for +1 to skills. I just start running terrorized zones, which are a walk in the demonic park. Here goes Diablo again, and more cows. Terrorized cows even, which is even better. And yeah, this is the build really. My demons are slapping, I curse the ground for even more damage. I'm level 85 at this moment, you can tell because the terrorized zones are always 2 levels higher than you are. And this build has just been a ton of fun. In terms of endgame, I don't really see what else I can do, however. There isn't really any endgame to speak of apart from running these zones, which I suppose is alright, but I'm not wildly interested in it. But nevertheless, this was just an amazing run. It is an amazing game. I started out with the summoner, failing and rolling a barb, failing again and rolling a summoner, and now I am killing the high level demonic cows with 2 goats and a mini Diablo. I mean, what more can you really ask for? Despite there not being really any endgame, I do find myself compelled to simply start more characters to try out all the loot and the set items that I found so far, and I feel that is perhaps the real attractive part of Diablo 2 Resurrected. Or of the original game for that matter. Plus, of course, we now have the Holy Grail added to the game in the form of a challenge, the quest to find and collect all unique and set items. Not sure I'll be going for that, but who knows. But that's it for now, thanks for making it to the end, I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this journey, and I'm sure I will do more if this video gets at least a little bit of attention, so all the editing and writing isn't in vain. These will usually not perform as well as the main content, which I will get back into with the new Path of Exile season rolling out and all, and I'm fine with some videos not doing all that well, because I have fun making them. But there should be some views still, right, to make it worth the effort, so let's see. That means, one more time, please like it guys if you like it, and subscribe for ARPG, Zero to Hero runs, some guides, some opinion pieces, and with that said, see you soon. Love you all, bye bye.